All right, welcome back to Everglades Canine Academy. This is Kevin, and I am working here with Hunter, the beautiful golden retriever. Very excited. His energy levels are always high. And today I'm going to show you an exercise in long line recall. Okay. Recall, out of all of the commands, is one of the most important commands. If our dog is not coming to us when they're called, then we do have a serious problem, right? So this is something that you as the owner really needs to practice on a daily basis for a period of time to get the dog to respond when there is a distracted environment facing them, right? So we like to practice in secluded areas where the dog can concentrate, and then we slowly just add in distractions as we go. The tools I'm working with today, very simple. A long line, this is a 50-foot line. And I have my food, or Hunter's food, which is just his kibble, right? It's almost about dinner time now, so we're going to kind of start feeding him dinner through some training. And of course, I have my trusty slobber towel. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to use the leash if he doesn't respond to my commands. Okay. And when I'm working my recall, I do like to make it a little practical. That's why I like using the long line. I like to let the dog roam, and then I'll just start signaling him with the command. And then if he doesn't come, I'm going to use the leash to correct him. And once he does start coming to me, I'm going to mark and reward. So it's a relatively simple exercise. And like I said, it gets a little more difficult once you start adding in distractions. Look at him. He knows I have food. He's real ready to train. This is great. So what we're going to do, I'm actually going to give him a lot of slack on this line. I do like to continue to hold the line. This exercise requires a little bit of line management. All right. Sometimes the dogs get tangled up in the line, but when you're doing this, try not to get too frustrated by the leash. Some people like to use retractable leashes, but I don't really like retractable leashes. I just like using static lines. I don't mind working on my line management and having the leash kind of dangle a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start walking this way. I kind of actually want him to get a little distracted and start sniffing around. And then I'm going to use his name. And then I'm going to use the recall command, which is come. And if he doesn't come, I'm going to apply a little bit of leash pressure to him. And I'm going to force him to come to me. But he'll understand once I start rewarding him, then he'll probably have a good chance of getting some repetition in, getting some consistency in this. All right, so here he goes. He's off sniffing. Hunter, come. Yes. Good. And I'm actually, for this recall exercise, I am giving a little bit of a jackpot reward. I'm giving him like 5 pieces of kibble at a time. All right, and it's okay. He doesn't need to be super far away from me. Hunter, come. Yes. Here we go. Even just a couple feet makes a big, big difference when it comes to training your dog. All right. I, in fact, start this exercise with only a 6-foot lead and then gradually build up to this long leash. And then hopefully we're practicing off leash. Hunter, come. Yes. Good boy. That was a good boy. Huh? It's a good boy. And if you're using a leash on this exercise and you realize your dog is coming to you, you're marking and rewarding properly, and you don't even have to use a leash, that's a pretty good sign. But why are we using a leash? Right? We're using a leash because we need to force him to come to us if he doesn't want to. This is a big part of obedience training, is that leash guidance helps the dog communicate what we need them to do. Okay? So if you're ever doing your recall exercises and your dog sometimes comes to you, sometimes doesn't, then there's a little bit of a problem there. You want your dog to come every time. Hunter, come. Yes. And we just need to train in some repetition with that, folks. Okay. We just need to train just a little bit of conditioning, or a lot of bit of conditioning, to make sure and ensure that you have the confidence that your dog is going to come to you whether they're on leash or not. Because really, when I think about this exercise, I'm really training for the scenario that maybe your dog is accidentally off leash running down the street into traffic. You're at, maybe you're in an area where you had them off leash consciously, but you need them to come to you right away, right? This is kind of what's going through my head when I'm doing this exercise, is that this is training for a scenario that maybe I'm not ready for. And one mistake that a lot of owners do is when they're practicing, right? They're doing it nice and formal. Hunter, come. Yes, they're nice and calm. The situation's okay. But, once your dog is running out into traffic, you're going to be way more emotional about it, right? You're going to be worried. You're going to be, your voice may not reflect the same tone as practice. This is why it's called training, because Hunter, come. Yes, because even in a life-saving situation for the dog, composure must be held, and you need to deliver that command the same way you deliver it when you practice. Okay, that's a really important thing. I've noticed when owners get stressed out, the tone of their voice starts to change when they're delivering their commands. And the dog says, I don't know that word, that tone, right? You're screaming at me. We don't practice like that. So what I really try to do, and it's very difficult, let me tell you, even myself being in stressful situations with my dog, my tonality has changed because of my levels of stress. So, but I've noticed that when I'm able to harness my training, recall my dog calmly, reward them when they're coming to me, even if they've been off leash, maybe doing something they're not supposed to be doing, I have so much better success when I'm using the tone of command that I've used during my practice sessions. Okay, so that's something to remember. Dogs don't know the word, they know the tone of your voice. All right, so the tonality is very, very important when you're delivering commands. Hunter, come. Yes. Good. I love that fast recall coming right to me, and I'm marking as soon as he starts coming to me. So we're just walk a little bit of space, get a little bit of distance, let the leash go. All right, Hunter, come. Sit. Actually including another command. I'm including a sit command when he gets to me. All right. I mean, since he's doing so well, I kind of want to make it a little more complicated. All right. And I like using the dog's name. Hunter, come. Even if he's already coming to me, I'm going to use his name and use the command. Hunter, come. Yes. Good boy. See? So when you're doing this exercise, don't rush it. Give your dog a little bit of space. You don't want to continuously use the command. And I like to give the dog a little bit of space, let the dog wander a little bit. And then what I do is I start backing up away from him. All right. And when he is distracted, I'll deliver the command. Now, let's say you're trying to practice this exercise and your dog is right by your side. Like, okay, that's good. But, what we want to do is we want to give a little space. So check it out. What I do, off. He's hungry, which I love. No. Off. There we go. Good. Now I'm going to reward that getting off of me, okay? Because we do want to start breaking that habit of him jumping up when he gets so excited. So if your dog is just hanging out by you, right, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw some kibble on the ground. No. There we go. Throw some kibble on the ground. We're going to make our distance. Hunter, come. Yes. There we go. All right, this way we have a little bit of distraction. He's going to try to be rooting around for the kibble. Here we go. Let's do it again. There we go. He's on the kibble in the ground. Hunter, come. This is a very, yes. I almost thought he was going to continue to sniff for the kibble. I'm really glad he decided to come to me. I want to mark and feed generously. But notice that when he didn't come right away, I'm not repeating my command. Okay? I'm not repeating the command. All right, now this time I guarantee he's not going to come to me because he's really invested in the kibble. But if he does, that's great. Hunter, come. Wait a couple seconds. Now leash pressure. Now leash pressure. Yes. There we go. Good. So I'm just using the leash so he'll disengage from the snacks that I put on the ground. All right. So this is very good practice. This is why we use the leash. All right. There he is again, trying to find it. Let's see if I can break his attention. Hunter, come. Yes. Jackpot reward, guys. Jackpot reward right there. All right. So this recall exercise is one of my favorite ones. The next thing that we want to do with him is we want to start doing this in a little bit more distracted environments. But really simple exercise to execute. And if you don't have room for a 50-foot line, I understand every scenario is different. I have a nice fenced-in yard here, so I have a lot of room to work. You know, if you're working out of a condo or, you know, you have a smaller yard, you can still use a 6-foot line, right? Your recall is just going to be from like right here. Hunter, come. Yes. All right. So if you do have room, a nice long 20, 30, 40, or 50-foot line is a really good idea to, you know, make sure to ensure that your dog follows your command. If you don't have a lot of room, feel free to just use a 6-foot leash. This is a great command you can even do with a 6-foot leash. All right. Now, with that said, you guys, please drop your comments down below if you have any questions. You can also find me, you can find my website and find my number if you want to call me directly for dog training over the phone if you're not in the state. I do provide video lessons and everything like that. And, you know, whatever your problems are, I'm sure I can give you some sort of advice, whether it's on the management side of dog training or the obedience side of dog training to help you out. I even do live demonstrations with my dog over the phone if we're doing video lessons. If you're in the Naples area, feel free to contact me. I work at a first come, first serve basis, but I always eventually end up having openings and really ready to help you guys. So with that said, always remember, happy training, and we will see you on the next video. Come on, let's go.